Thanks, Walt. I'd like to start by saying how honored I am to be here tonight. I must admit that I feel like a newbie in the room, especially considering that many of the other educators being honored tonight have been teaching since before I was born. I'd like to start with one of my favorite quotes from American writer and theologian Friedrich Buechner. He said that vocation is a place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. My vocational journey as an educator began only 4 years ago when I accepted the position at Reagan High School on the south side of Milwaukee. It's been quite a ride navigating a large urban district like MPS and building a music program from the ground up. But I'm still amazed that I get to make music every day with kids of all backgrounds and all nationalities, over 60% of which are below poverty line, but all of which have amazing gifts to offer the world. I have a few specific people that I'd really like to thank for their unending support. First, for my family and friends, for being constant cheerleaders, encouragers, and supporters of me. Also, special thanks to my mom for not letting me quit playing the piano when I was an angsty preteen, or I wouldn't be here in front of you tonight. To music teachers that have inspired me. To my high school choir director, Rebecca Winnie, I can honestly say that I knew I wanted to be a music teacher after about 2 days in her high school choir. To Jennifer O'Connor, Walt Boyer, Betty Tomei, and Richard and Michelle Hinson. To my music professors at Wheaton College, to Dr. Kathy Kastner, who taught me the power of building relationships with students, and to Dr. Paul Weens, Dr. Curtis Funk, and Dr. Timothy Jans. To my Reagan High School family, many of whom are here tonight. Reagan started 10 years ago as the little high school that could, and has quickly become a beacon of light in MPS. Special thanks to the school's founder, Julia D'Amato, who is a great role model of what it means to be both kind-hearted and a fighter. To current principal Mike Raymer for giving me artistic freedom and support. To Carol Stein, Cindy Johnson, Mary Ellen, and Mike Mervis, who are all cheerleaders of my program and my career. To Adam Murphy and Nicholas Johnson, who are the best musical co-workers and team that I could ask for. Also, special thanks to the Zilber Family Foundation grant funding that has helped Reagan's program grow from 50 students to 500 in just 5 years. As a newbie to the music ed scene, I don't feel qualified to give advice, the advice of a master teacher. I still have a lot to learn. But I'd like to simply offer some observations on the journey so far. All of you here tonight are either music teachers or married to one, administrators, supporters of the arts, or community partners. As such, you know that music teachers wear many hats, and sometimes too many at one time. We take on many roles, some of which lie outside of our official job description. I thought I'd share some thoughts on the hats that we as music teachers wear and what taking on those roles have taught me about teaching music and about life. The first is the instructor hat. As a teacher, I feel that I have 3 key things to offer my students. One is music literacy, history, theory, technique, the skills of music, to grow students who are not solely reliant upon me as their teacher, but as independent musicians. The second is to teach them about the affective and emotional aspects of music, allowing them to have a transcendent experience with the beauty and power of making music with others. And the third is to use music as a vehicle to help my students grow as people, to foster community and collaboration and develop social skills that will translate beyond my classroom. The next is the artist hat. I believe so strongly that we cannot teach students to make beautiful music unless we make beautiful music ourselves. We know that music recharges our students, but we must also remember that it recharges us. That our students should see us as not only as teachers, but also as artists. The next is the innovator or the advocator hat, which is oftentimes the most challenging. In a time of shrinking budgets and the lack of funding for arts education, we must learn how to make a lot out of very little. I've learned to put aside the temptation to complain about what I don't have and be creative about what I do have. I believe that if you're faithful and creative in cultivating the resources you have, they will grow. It's also incredibly important to pick your battles, to fight for what you believe in, and when necessary, exhaust your creative efforts towards finding solutions that are best for kids. I believe that it's important to embrace new technology and new pedagogy, to engage with new ideas, to start new projects and activities, but to also stay rooted in the musical traditions that got us into this business in the first place. The next is the community organizer hat. I've come to realize that I can't do everything myself, and thankfully, I don't have to. We live in a beautifully artistic city with professional musicians and organizations just waiting to partner with music teachers. I found that rubbing shoulders with those in the Milwaukee artistic community has allowed my students to interact with professional musicians, see incredible performances, and expand their lens of what good music is. Lastly, and I believe most importantly, the mentor hat. As music teachers, we have a unique opportunity to see our students every year that they're in our building, allowing us to be a consistent role model and presence in their lives. This requires going beyond seeing our students as makers of music, but as growing people who need guidance and a safe space to share their deep struggles and challenges. Not all of my students will go on to become musicians, but I can only hope that through their experiences with music, they will come to know what beauty is, and that they will seek to replicate that beauty in creative ways as they grow into adults. In conclusion, music educators run around wearing many hats, but that's exactly the organized chaos that makes this job so exciting, surprising, and rewarding. Each day is a new opportunity to expose students to beauty and allow them to respond to it and grow from it. That is an honor and a privilege. I'd like to end with a portion of a famous poem by Arthur William Edgar O'Shaughnessy, which was set to music by many notable composers. It serves as a great reminder to music educators and to those who support them of the immense yet beautiful task we have to bring music into the lives of children. It reads, "We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams. World losers and world forsakers, upon whom the pale moon gleams. Yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems." Thanks.